persons have lost their lives, 6 injured in a gun battle over land. Is it any wonder that we're dropping down on that peace index? Fellow Ghanaians, are we acting in a peaceful manner? Well, we're told 5 people, all men, have been confirmed dead, with 6 others seriously injured during an exchange of gunfire over a parcel of land in Binyiri in the Sawla-Tuna-Kalba district of the Savannah region. Now, the son of the chief of Kalba is reported to be amongst the deceased. Let's connect now with my colleague, Christopher Amako. He's a Northern and Savannah regional correspondent, and find out exactly what the latest is as far as this violence is concerned. Christopher, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ellen.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, by the grace of God, Ellen. Yourself?
We're doing very well, but definitely concerned about these developing incidents in the Savannah region. And Christopher, are you able to provide us with a timeline of what has happened leading up to this Binyiri land conflict?
Yes, so the incident started on Sunday, August 24. In the early hours, where some gunshots were exchanged in the Binyiri community, leading to the death of 5 persons and that's 16 individuals, 5 persons dead, 16 individuals injured on that fateful day. That was on the Sunday. And so the security was immediately deployed to the community by the Savannah Regional Security Council, and this was a result of land rescue, but a small parcel of land.
Apologies, Christopher. Okay, we can hear you better now. There was a bit of wind interrupting the call, but do go ahead.
Okay, so this conflict arose over a piece of land that 2 persons were fighting over, because each of them was claiming ownership to put up a house and a store. And so this resulted in a exchange of gunfire between the 2 factions, leading to the death of some 5 persons that very day. That was on Sunday, and several others getting injured. Now, the issue has escalated to other parts of the Binyiri area, where we are seeing more attacks on communities, more people fleeing their homes, and more injuries, and some deaths reported again. As of yesterday, the IGP visited the affected area and has reassured the people that the security is going to be beefed up to ensure that the lives and properties are protected. Now, one interesting thing is that while the IGP and his team were at one side of the enclave ensuring that they broke up peace, they let the people understand the need for them to live peacefully. Others were in other communities setting some properties ablaze, and that should tell us how serious the situation is. Ellen, I must also say that since the incident, we've had several women and children fleeing their various affected communities. Some going into neighboring Burkina Faso and La Côte d'Ivoire, others going towards the Tuna and Upper West area, and the remaining ones coming towards the Sawla area. And so if you come to the Sawla police station where I am currently, we have hundreds of victims of this conflict seeking refuge here at the Sawla police station. Some with fresh babies, newly born babies, others physically challenged. In fact, I saw a visually impaired woman who narrated her ordeal throughout Sunday till now. And I must say, Helen, it's very, very pathetic. Some of them have gone without food for the past 3 days, being at the Sawla police station. Fortunately for some, yesterday the gender minister provided some food for them through the Ghana School Feeding Program here in the Savannah region. And so some of them were fed because they didn't know the numbers. The food they brought did not even reach a quarter of the people who were here. Now, this morning, I've seen that some of them have been given breakfast, but not all. Even not all the children got the food. And so it's a very serious situation here at the Sawla police station.
Sounds very serious indeed, especially given what you're updating us on as far as feeding is concerned. Now, do we have intel on previous land disputes in this area that have escalated to this point?
Okay, so this area, the land actually it belongs to the king of Gunja. In the Gunja kingdom, the land belongs to the traditional authority, and the main traditional authority in Gunja land is the Yagbongra. So the Yagbongra is the custodian of all the land in Gunja land. Now, aside that, we also have other settler groups, ethnic groups on these lands. These people have lived peacefully over the years, but sometimes we record pockets of land disputes because it usually happens during the farming season, where one person wants to farm on one land, another person is also claiming to have farmed on that land some years ago. Now we see these land disputes, but this one is a very different one because it's not the usual land disputes for farming, but this is just land dispute that arose as a result of two parties wanting to put up structures, and this escalated to what we are experiencing now. And so this time the conflict has switched from the usual land for farming dispute to land for construction, which is very rare in this part of the country.
Now, what has been the response of local authorities immediately after the shootings?
Yes, so security was immediately deployed to the area. Even though on Sunday the security presence was not enough, following the IGP's statement that they were going to reinforce security in the area, more security personnel were deployed, police, military were deployed. Yesterday, the IGP, together with the commanding officer of the Ghana Armed Forces Northern Command, Brigadier General FWK Agbebu, they were all here in the Gbeniri area to, first of all, interact with the Savannah Regional Security Council to get first-hand information about what the situation is all about. They also moved to the King of Gunja to speak with him. Also met with the paramount chief of the Sawla area. They also went to the Gbeniri community to meet with the traditional authority. Unfortunately, yesterday, in the Gbeniri community, all the men, women, children had fled. Most of the communities in that area, as we speak, Ellen, have become ghost towns.
You say everybody has fled following the shootings, following the injuries?
Yes, all of them have fled. In fact, some of the communities are very empty, very, very empty. There's no single soul in that community, apart from a few police officers who drive to that area and back. You don't see any living soul in these communities. Yesterday, interestingly, when the police escorted some people who were fleeing the area to safety, by the time they get back to the community, the chief's palace was burnt. And so that tells you how serious the situation is. Even as this morning, people are still fleeing despite the security presence in this community. People are still trooping to the Sawla police station to seek refuge.
Now, Crystal, I want to find out what steps are being taken to prevent further retaliation between the feuding factions.
Yes, so far there has been some peace talks already ongoing. This was started by the Sawla District Security Committee. The Savannah Regional Security Council has also started, and together with the other security agencies. In fact, yesterday the IGP's versus made some impact because the chiefs in these areas have on record called on their people to remain calm, have also called on them to cease fire, and so they are also taking steps to ensure that their people really understand them and cease fire. But the issue here has to do with the ownership of land and settlers. And once that is resolved, Ellen, I must say that we can all be sure that there isn't going to be any incidents of conflict. But as far as that still lingers on, we are going to see this repeat in the coming years or days. But the peace talk is ongoing. We just hope that they address this concern once and for all.
Now, how are ordinary residents perceiving the effectiveness of security personnel in the area? Do they believe that the police are effectively handling the issues?
Yeah, so Ellen, I spoke with a few of them this morning. They are telling me that, look, when the security arrived in the community on Sunday, they believed that they could do something. Yesterday, Monday, some of them who fled yesterday told me that they fled because they did not believe in the security presence because of the numbers and because of the fact that they hear threats that they were coming to attack them. And the person told me again that when they got here yesterday, thinking that those who were in the community will be protected by the security present there. This morning, those that they left and those who said that once they were police and military, they were not going to flee the area, are beginning to even arrive more in their numbers. And so it tells you clearly that despite the security presence in these areas, the people still feel unsafe. They feel that going back to their communities now won't be the best option for them. And so as long as we are able to find peace at the Sawla police station, even without the basic social amenities, they are going to stay here for their lives. If you come here, even though they have temporary tents that have been erected by NADMO, issues of sanitation are beginning to become a worrying situation because they free themselves in the open, they urinate in the open, they do everything in the open because that is the only option left for them.
Well, this has certainly escalated into a humanitarian crisis from the sounds of things. Scores of people at the police station, you say some food has been distributed, but certainly not enough even for young ones who are in the area. Is there more relief items on the way?
Okay, so the gender minister is currently in Tamale with a team. They just arrived in Tamale. I received a call from them that they were coming straight to Sawla with more food because when they called, I told them that the situation is not something to joke about because if you underrate the number of people here, you bring food, water, and you are only able to feed a few of them here. And so even the breakfast that was brought, in fact, not a quarter of the children got the food because of the increasing numbers. Ellie, let me also say that some of them who have some small money on them, when the car from Wa gets to the Sawla police station, they just bought the vehicles going to Kumasi, Sichumai, and other places just because they feel like that place will be far from home, and that place, regardless of the fact that they may not know anyone there, they may not have anything to do there. All they want is to go far away from home.
Right, Christopher, we're connecting now also with the ECE of the Sawla-Tuna-Kalba district, Sinkina Saka. But just before we do so, I want to find out from yourself if there have been any arrests so far.
So far, not that I'm aware of, because issues of arrest have not been discussed yet. Yesterday, we were hoping that we'll get briefings on the issues of arrest, but all we do know is that according to the security personnel here, what matters is to save the lives and properties for now before they commence investigations into the matter.
Certainly. And Christopher, for yourself, how are you faring? How safe do you feel at this time?
Well, once I am in the midst of the security personnel here, I feel a bit safe but worried seeing all these women and children packed here for days without food.
Christopher, thank you so much. Hold on for me. We'll still get some better particulars from yourself. Mr. Saka, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing good.
Now, we want to find out what steps the District Assembly has taken since this incident.
Come again?
We want to find out what steps the District Assembly has taken since this incident.
Well, a number of decisions have been taken by DISEC. We took the decision to release all persons, 6 persons who were arrested in order to reduce tension because the youth attempted to burn down the hospital in town. They also attempted to burn down the police station if those arrested were not released. And this was building a lot of tension in the district capital. As DISEC, we thought it wise to release, to give bail to all those who were arrested. This is one of the steps. There was also an attempt to burn down the hospital over a number of cops that were there. A faction of those fighters said they are Muslims and they were demanding immediate release of the dead bodies to be buried. We have to release them. These 2 steps brought relatively calm to the district. Fortunately, a number of military and police personnel have been deployed to most parts of the district, and this has also helped to reduce tension. As I speak, the whole district is relatively calm.
Certainly, Mr. Saka, when you say relatively calm, can you expand on that for us? We were just speaking with a Savannah regional correspondent, and he says there are scores of women, children situated at the police station looking for food, looking for shelter and security at this time.
As I speak to you, everybody in the district, everywhere is escaping to a different region. Most are going to the southern part of Ghana, Techima, Wenche, and what the rest. Others are migrating to Côte d'Ivoire, others are migrating to Upper West. Most of the towns are now ghost towns. You go there, you won't see anybody, maybe police. But the difficulty is that there are these small communities that are dotted across the Black Volta, that shares boundary with Côte d'Ivoire. And this is one of the things that is making bringing the conflict to an end a bit difficult. People believe that there are numerous unapproved routes that people easily cross to Burkina Faso or Côte d'Ivoire. That is the challenge. As I speak, most of the displaced people were helpless. Some are in the bush, majority are in police stations. You won't get food to buy. You can't give them food because I, as the DC, have arranged some food for the military and police personnel. But if you go to the station, you cannot give it to the displaced people because others are watching. If you should give food to any of them, you are seen as somebody supporting that faction or the other. For that matter, you see people crying for water. The only relief is that, fortunately, yesterday the Red Cross have been able to deploy some men here. And as we speak, we are making arrangements to see how best we can supply food to the displaced persons, the remaining those who are at the various police stations through the Ghana Red Cross.
In fact, that was going to be my next question, because this has certainly devolved into a humanitarian crisis. I wanted to find out the emergency interventions that are in place for those that have been displaced or for those that have been injured. You talk about the military support and also the Red Cross. Beyond that, we're also told that the Gender Ministry is also deploying some food and relief items to the area. How soon do you anticipate that these items will reach these persons?
I also heard that, but personally, I'm yet to be contacted officially. Yesterday, the whole of the day, I was with the regional minister, IGP, and a high-powered military delegation, BNI, all the security agencies. We went through the major villages that were affected. We also engaged the chiefs and people who are in a way cooperating. If I were able to engage a number of Gonja chiefs, we visited the Sawla-Tuna-Kalba. We also visited the Kalba. There was an attempt to see if we could visit the people, a section of them. Unfortunately, we couldn't get anybody to talk to. It is only this morning a leader of the Brifo called me and said they are arranging, and that has to arrange for the necessary security measures for them to engage the Yabura, that is the overlord of the Gonja traditional kingdom, to see how best this issue can be resolved.
And as the head of security in the district, how are you ensuring that there's a prevention of future outbreaks of violence? I know that there's collaboration with other security personnel, but in the immediate aftermath, what is being done? We're told of heightened police security presence, but residents, according to our correspondent, don't seem to be very convinced that their safety is assured.
Yes, to be sincere with you, it is very difficult for you to guarantee the safety of all people in the affected areas. Like I said, it is not like a big town that you can impose a curfew. People are settled differently across farming communities also. So it's extremely difficult to say that people should go back to their homes, because you can be attacked from different angles. So only the best way is to engage. So I'm urging the Peace Council, all personnel or all persons involved in promoting security to come in. I believe dialogues will be the way forward. In fact, these are just few individuals who are doing this thing. Few individuals.
And for the uninitiated, what would you describe as the root cause of this gun battle that we've seen? 5 dead, several others injured. We know that at the surface it's about land. Does it go deeper than that?
Well, what is happening is that in Gonja land here, for that matter in Savannah region, the land is vested in the chiefs. Unfortunately, if you come to my district, Sawla-Tuna-Kalba, that is Gonja land.
Right.
But majority of the inhabitants are the Brifos. So some few individuals, in the way, maybe try to claim ownership, or they don't want to accept the authority of chiefs assigned to some villages. The community in question, where the fighting started, 99% of them are the Brifos. The chief there is a Gonja. You see how it is.
And at this time, how are you addressing rumors and misinformation? Because we know the effect that sort of misinformation and disinformation can have on escalating the violence in the area.
That is the more reason why we continue to talk to media houses. When people listen to official sources, they will disregard this rumor. Yesterday, I was with the IGP throughout. I was surprised on social media. I hear some people calling to find out whether I'm safe. There was rumor that the IGP was attacked, which was false. As I'm talking, I'm at the police station. Hundreds and hundreds of people are displaced here. The policemen are just being dispatched to the various station. Thank you very much. We'll speak again.
All right, certainly. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Saka, Sinkina, DCE, Sawla-Tuna-Kalba. We still have Christopher Amako on the line. Christopher, I was just asking the DCE about rumors and misinformation. Is that something that abounds at this time, or are the residents and persons in the community aware of the root cause of this incident?
Yes, so the residents in the Guiniri community, yes, they are aware of the root cause of this incident because the incident happened in that community. Now, if you go to the other communities that were attacked, they were only attacked because some people lost their lives, and so there were reprisal attacks. That is why we are seeing some attacks in other communities that are dominated by some category of people, and that is why we are seeing this. For the rumors and other issues, it has to do with probably a community. Someone will just go and tell the community members that they are coming for us, so let's run. That explains why we have more people living in that community. Some of the communities have not actually been attacked as of now, but people have fled that community because they have heard that from community A they will be coming to attack community B, and so before they even come, they have to flee for their lives. That is why we are seeing more people fleeing their communities. Some of the communities actually have not yet been attacked, but people have fled these communities. For instance, in the Sola community, it's a peaceful community right now as we speak, but some categories of people have already fled the community for fear that they may be attacked.
And Christopher, finally, from your perspective, what is your outlook on future peace in Sawla-Tuna-Kalba?
Probably that will bring an end to the long-standing land dispute in the area because once this has happened, definitely the peace talks will commence. The negotiations will come in. We will get to know how the traditional authority probably will come out with, and government will come out with some modalities. We do know, as for the ownership of the land, we do know who owns the land. Right. We also know that aside the owners of the land, we know that the settlers are majority. They are more in the district than the landowners. So how are they able to come to terms with each other to understand that, yes, I am the landowner, you are the majority, let's do A as settlers, let's do B as settlers, let's not do this. Probably in the course of the discussions, in the course of the peace processes, all these things will come up and they'll be able to address it. But in the interim, I would say that people are still chief, especially so when the chief of Kalba lost the son. And so tensions are so high, maybe in the coming days we'll begin to see some level of calm and peace being restored in the area.
Certainly, Christopher, very grateful for your time this morning. Christopher Amako is our Savannah regional correspondent, keeping us up to speed on exactly what is going on. Well, this is certainly sounding like an escalating humanitarian crisis with scores of community members at the police station. Issues about food, water, shelter, certainly on the forefront. Let's also now speak with the Member of Parliament for the Sawla-Tuna-Kalba area, Honorable Andrew Derry Chiwete. Honorable, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Helen. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Hope you're doing well this morning.
Well, we give glory to God.
Certainly, and thank you for joining us on the program. Very unfortunate sights and sounds coming from your area. I'm told that even yourself, you haven't been spared from some of the fracas that is currently ongoing. What is your reaction to the latest violence in your constituency?
Let me thank you for the opportunity and say good morning to all listeners. My reaction, it's been a very devastating situation, very terrible, and so it's quite difficult to talk about it. I feel so bad about the whole situation. It's been nasty from day one. It's something that we could have avoided, but we've inflicted it on ourselves. It's just a very needless venture. So I don't know how to put it. But I think we just didn't have to get where we are today. Yeah.
What is your plan moving forward to support the bereaved families and those who have been injured?
For now, it will be difficult to say I have A, B, C, D plans. Right. What I'm doing immediately is the talks I've had with the security officers. So far, so good. They've been on the ground, but it's just that unfortunately, their presence, we still have a lot of bad incidences being recorded. And then, like Christopher said, it's terrible. Women and children sleeping outside, not well fed. But I have put plans in place. Today, I'm making available some amount of money. I spoke with the NADMO director. Unfortunately, he's not in town, but earlier I asked him to arrange some breakfast for them. So I've been trying to get confirmation from him whether he's provided the breakfast. But I've made available some amount that will be released to them soon. Especially now, he's in Damangu, he's not in Sawla yet. And so as soon as he comes, he will take a delivery of the amount, and then he will get some pictures and see how they put things in order. Then the gender minister also has put a very good plan in place. She just communicated with me. Yesterday, she got the regional school feeding coordinator to send some food. But she told me she was at the airport going to Sawla. And so I believe she will put in a very comprehensive plan to help alleviate the suffering that people are going through. Finally, we have so many people that are stranded. And we have a lot of them that have left Sawla-Tuna-Kalba. Many of them moved towards Dansar, and then a few of them also went towards the Wa area. And so others also moved towards the Kenya and then Ivory Coast. So the whole area is a very devastated area. So that is what I can say.
Devastating indeed. And what immediate tactical actions, Honorable, do you believe security personnel should prioritize at this time?
Protection of lives and property, that's the most important thing, especially lives. Because as at yesterday, we still had people being shot at. We had people's houses being burnt down. This dawn, around 4 thereabouts, I had a call from a community called Gindabo, where one man called Sandu, his house, a very big compact house, I know the house. They called to inform me it was on fire. And so I think for today, that is the only incident that they have reported to me. I pray it should be the only case for the whole day. That is my prayer.
And
it should be the only case for the whole day.
We certainly share in that prayer with you. But so far, how effective has dialogue been among the different communities in the district?
You know, the whole thing started in a community or a village called Biliri. It's not just even a big community, a small community. And it's over a piece of land, not even a plot of land. A space that could take just a store or a container. That is the space that has generated up to this level that we have lost so many lives. Dialogue. The IGP was in the district yesterday. He moved from palace to palace. He spoke to the chiefs. I was not there with him. The IGP spoke with the Yapura. We are in talks with people to see how they can quickly move in, apart from the IGP coming in. We are going to see how we get other people to move in to plead with Yapura to talk to the chiefs and the people so that some will be restored to the area. I've always said this thing, and I'll repeat it here. We don't need war in our area. We don't need to kill the people. We don't need the destruction that has come up. Look, we've been very lucky that our own John Dramani Mahama has become the president for the second time. This is the time for us to come together to make good use of his presidency to bring development to the area. Benihiri has no electricity. Benihiri has no road. When JM went there to campaign, and even Professor Jenana, our last campaigner, I took her to Benihiri. I just wanted her to see how deprived that place is. And when we were going, people were complaining. I told them, look, this is the area we get our votes from. So I want my leadership to know the place. So that when I come complaining to them that we don't have food, we don't have water, we don't have electricity, they would understand me. So as we won elections, we were supposed to be people that will be trained to help get development. Now, the few things that we have, we started destroying them. Look, like I said, Sawla district already is a threat, a district that is very stressed. Now, there's little money that we have as a district assembly. We are going to put everything into this. If I tell you just these few days, the amount of money that we've committed into it, you won't believe it. We could do boreholes for people. The roads are terrible. We could start grading the roads. We are not going to put everything into building security or building security to take care of the place. It's just uncalled for. Unfortunately, we have got it here. There's nothing we can do. So what we are praying for is that we should get to understand one another that we need to come together and develop the place, especially the suffering of the women and children. Anytime I look at the videos of the place, I feel so sick. So I'm pleading with leadership, Rangers, the force, the youth. We often say the future of the country is in the hands of the youth. So if we begin to destroy our future today, then we don't have a future. Those who are moving about killing, most of them, they are just young guys. We need a future, but we are destroying the future today. So I'm pleading with them. Let's keep our arms and see how we can build the place for ourselves. Yeah, Sawla-Tuna-Kalba, a very vast land. But if we destroy it, we destroy people on the land, what will be the use of the land?
Honorable, the level of disappointment, very palpable in your voice this morning, and that certainly speaks to the level of devastation that we are also now hearing about. And I don't know if my next question is too premature, but are there any new policies being considered for dispute arbitration at the local level, especially when it comes to land issues?
If we are able to meet the overlord, plead with him, and then we get the buy-in of all the chiefs, there should be a way forward. I'm sure we have very competent leadership. The chiefs that we're talking about are all people who know their left and their right. And I know, well, sometimes some of these things come up. It's something that they happen unintentionally. And after that, we all sit down, we look at the situation, we regret, and then rebuild. I believe strongly we'll get back, and things will work well for us.
Certainly, Honorable, very grateful for your time this morning. I know it's a difficult time for you. Thank you for taking some time out to catch us up to speed. We're also following the developments quite keenly right here on 3FM 92.7. In due course, I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to catch up and get some further and better particulars on what is happening in your constituency.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day as well. And you were just there listening to Honorable Andrew Dari Chiwete, MP Sawla-Tuna-Kalba, and he's rather emotional this morning, speaking to us about what is happening in his constituency. A number of residents displaced, mothers, children. It's certainly escalating. People looking for food, looking for shelter, looking for water. It's something we're keeping a keen eye out on. Time check, it is some 26 minutes past the hour of 9. You're still here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We pause for a quick break. When we come back, there's a lot more on the radar on 3FM Sunrise. Don't go too far.
Mira, person me to MTN sim.
Yo, na me pa show be pese o register